Hello. So this is a bit unexpected because I didn't think that I would be running to record something so soon after making a video. So the last video I made, for context, was on Sunday. We're now only on Tuesday. Which means it's Tuesday night, which means that I've had two and a bit whole days to reflect. Now, interestingly, I think that there was something about making such an intentional decision and making a video which made the decision even more intentional that I am sure has done something to my subconscious which has freaked it out a little. Because any other time that I delete my dating apps, as soon as I feel, this bit I will discuss, but as soon as I feel the desire to get them back, I just do. They're like pretty much without hesitation. I'm very wriggly and like restless. I just get them back. But because I've made that video, I'm like, my brain is like, this is a decision you've made. And the thing is this is the important point to make, is that when I feel compelled to go on my dating apps, it would seem that the desire is either to arrange a date to go on or to potentially find a future partner. Now, neither going on a date, and I'm not just saying this to sound like an independent woman, I'm not just saying it for that reason. Going on a date and being in a relationship ASAP, neither of those things are very blatantly something that I'm feeling a hugely great need for. They are a luxury. They would be a bonus to my life. They would be all these things, particularly dates, and kind of finding the date doesn't necessarily equal nice time. That is not something I miss in my life. I don't feel myself being like, oh, I wish I was going on a date this weekend, or that kind of thing. But what has been happening is something very different, which I don't think I've ever appreciated up until the point where I've taken away my ability to go on a dating app. So I don't think I realised that going on a dating app for me most of this time has been to serve as a distraction from something else. And that something else doesn't necessarily have to be a very obviously scary thing. It can be a flicker of uncertainty. It could be a moment, a slight flicker of sadness. It could be a feeling of boredom. It could be anything like that. And so last night, interestingly, I was literally, not metaphorically, having a nightmare. And I woke up this morning very anxious, like with a knot in my stomach, very, very anxious. And I hope it doesn't sound like the anxiety and the discomfort is coming from the fear of not having a partner or the sadness of not going on a date. Because literally, being totally truthfully honest, if I really felt like I was desperate to go on a date, or and I felt like I would have such a good time on a date, or if I feel like I really was so worried about not finding a partner, I wouldn't come off them. I wouldn't come off. I'd stay on them. Even though I don't personally think they're the way. I really personally don't think they're the way, not for me anyway. But for me, it's just to do with the fact that the downsides were just too vast. There were just too many downsides. And the fact that I feel like I can afford to come off them. But this is the bit that's kind of tricky, because this is where my little naughty little demons are coming out. And I cannot tell you, like, the sensation of wanting to eat a tub of ice cream when you're craving it, how much I have wanted to re-download at least one app and just quickly get talking to someone so that I don't have to think about something else that's making me feel mildly uncomfortable. And that something else in this particular instance is the fact that I have made a big decision recently to hopefully retrain and start a new career path. The thing is, for me, it's quite an ambitious career, and it's not something that I have a clue. I haven't even trod on the first stepping stone. I'm trying to gather my resources to step on the first stepping stone, and that has kind of proven I've had to be more gutsy than I usually am. I've had to be more bold. I've had to kind of do things I really wouldn't in a million years normally do. And then obviously with all that risk taking comes a little bit of fear and anxiety. And I think that it's just dawned on me, that anxiety. And this coming at the same time as the dating app decision, they're not unlinked, because in my head, what I thought to myself was, well, if I can delete my dating apps, it's more likely to make me focus on the career thing. So, yeah, they're kind of linked. And not thinking about the dating apps is making me think about the career thing, but it's now started to feel a little bit scary. Not for any real reason, just for the pure fact that there is something in life that I would love to do, or at least I think I would love to do, and I am a fetus in my journey, even less than a fetus in my journey. So I'm very, very vulnerable at this stage of my journey. Anything could happen. I feel anything could throw me off course, but I've been so determined that nothing will. And understandably, these are uncomfortable feelings. What would a dating app do at this point? Okay, I'd open it up. I'd go, oh, this is a bit shit, but at least I'm not thinking about the career. Or I'll start talking to someone and be like, oh, they're not very communicative, but at least I'm not thinking about the career stuff. Or I'll arrange a date and then I'll be like, oh God, I don't really want to go on this date, but at least I'm not thinking about the career stuff. Or I'll arrange a date and it's like, oh God, I'll go on a date. It turns out terrible. At least I haven't been thinking about the career. So it's good to have the distraction of a dating app because it saves the pain, but at the same time, it doesn't push my life forward in any kind of direction. And it also doesn't even result in me being in a happy relationship. I feel that I can acquire a healthy relationship away from dating apps. I feel confident enough about that. and or, worst case scenario, not end up in a relationship. Because I do believe so strongly that being with no one is absolutely better than being with the wrong person. So I have to be headstrong here in a way that I haven't ever been before. So I just wanted to record this because it's very much part of the raw bit of the journey. The fears and the demons have started creeping out. This is very real. And instead I've made a list of things I need to do, because there's like a bunch of things I need to do, a bunch of things I need to think about before I go to bed. But on a normal night, I would probably put those all off and just go on a dating app instead. So just wanted to share, because again, I am so keen to know what's going on in my life this time next year. It might be exactly the same. It might be exactly the same. But I feel that these changes are a vital part of making these changes is a vital part of making it so that my life actually looks different in a year's time and not just the same. Because for me, every year just looks the same. Only difference is I have like one extra wrinkle. So yeah. So basically that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Anybody out there, if you are listening, thank you for listening. And looking forward to speaking again.